Hi, Jim Graywolf, here to talk a little bit about journeying. I'll be matching this up, actually Sharon will be matching this up with her thoughts on journeying, since we just recently started doing some journeying together, she and I, the eagle half and the wolf half. Sharon has been working with me about a year, learning medicine, and part of my medicine is some of the ceremonies I lead, but also the ability to do some pretty intensive journeying. I tend to journey through time and space. People right away when they hear journeying think meditating, and that's not meditating whatsoever. So let's put that one aside. Meditating is a great tool. I meditate a lot too. Journeying can happen a lot in different ways. Some people when they journey will go off and just see a field of grass, just see blackness. Others will go to places and see things that have happened or things that will happen or may happen. I tend to do all of them, and they vary. I sometimes actually go to places in the past or the future, and I'm there in the scene, and I can feel things, I can hear things. Generally, people cannot see or hear me. When this first started happening a number of years ago, too many years ago to count, I thought I'd absolutely lost my mind. And of course I hadn't. I hadn't really been taught enough about that part of journeying. I was being led by two bears and some of my other teachers, but they didn't expect that to happen for some time. And so in a way I wasn't prepared. So medicine. As I said, it is part of my medicine, being able to journey, leading others in journeys. Sometimes individuals, not often. Generally groups, 8, 10 people will go off, we'll journey. I'll start with ceremony. I'll get everyone in the right place. I'll start with some of the sacred prayers. Just get everyone ready and then talk us through the journeying road. Allowing animal guides to come, allowing spirit guides to come. And just see where everyone goes. There's no rush. Often I'll drum while they're journeying. I'll stop speaking eventually and either journey with them, or if there's a group of people, I just pay attention to their energy, make sure everything's all right, make sure there's no problem, just like if I lead a sweat lodge or any other event, any other ceremony that I may do. And you'll hear that from a lot of medicine people. Their job is to connect into everyone. Their job is to make sure everyone's safe and whole and not getting into any kind of trouble. This journeying was completely different. This was with Sharon Rainbow Eagle, my eagle side to my wolf side. As I said, we've been working together about a year, and over that year we've gotten very close. We are the same spirit. We seem to be two people but walking with the same spirit. So similar it's hard to tell a difference at times. Sometimes it's hard to tell which one of us is talking. We use the same words. And I think that's I know that's part of past life experiences together, but also we just simply walk with the same spirit. And it's made our connection incredibly close, intense, loving, trusting, any other words you want to use. So that has developed. That made this a very different journeying time. Sharon's developing her medicine now. And she has powerful medicine. She's just learning to use it. But she was ready for a journey. And I thought that was great, so we kicked off on our first journey. As we usually do, we were melded quickly as one, with that like spirit coming together, understanding each other's spirits. There's no friction when we come together. Our spirits understand each other because it's basically the same spirit. And I'm still trying to learn more about this. I was told about this by elders in the past, but now I experience it myself. That's a little different. That's something else that I have to take into consideration when I go. So our first journey, we've done 2 so far, and I'm actually looking forward to more. They'll be coming soon, I'm sure. But our first one, we asked the animal guides to take us, and so my guide, the wolf, which is now also Sharon's, as her eagle was also my eagle. That's why we call ourselves Eagle Wolf. Our animals have connected too. Wolf took us for a while, took us to Eagle, and then we were off and soaring. We were seeing things, we were feeling things. The 2 of us actually became one within the Eagle. That's another feature of journeying. I've found sometimes when I journey with an animal guide, or with an ancestor, one of my teachers like Black Elk, White Buffalo Calf Woman. And I'm separate from them. I'm just along, if you will. Other times, I'm connected to that animal. I become that animal, which is really another form of shape-shifting I've talked about in the past. Maybe we'll do another show or something on that in the future. But sometimes I become one. This was unique for me with Sharon because we connected as one. She and I became one and then became one with the eagle. So there was 3 in 1, if you will. There was an eagle carrying 2 of us, carrying our spirits. And because we have worked so deeply, so closely together, and because we trust each other so implicitly, that didn't give us any distress. We were looking out of the same pair of eyes, the eagle eyes. We saw some similar things this time, and that doesn't often happen either, at least in my experience. I saw a large crowd of people. We were both talking to them. I'm fairly certain it was in the future. I'm not positive, because I didn't go to the event this time. This was almost like a test flight for us, if you will. We journeyed for quite a while. We traveled with Eagle. We came back to where we were on opposite sides of the world. Me here in Colorado, Sharon in Israel, which also is not any kind of hindrance to us. It doesn't matter where we are, we can connect almost instantly. So when we came back, I heard that Sharon saw 4,500 people. She actually had a number. I think it was 45. She'll say in her part, I think. And I saw a large gathering of people that we spoke to. So very similar experience. We talked about being with the eagle, being one. She and I being one, feeling each other's hearts, being one spirit, one energy within the eagle, and the wolf guiding us in the beginning. And so that was kind of our first journey experience. Other things we did see and we saw in the second one that, quite honestly, I won't share with you, because that's for Sharon and I. Things that were given to us, either as individuals or as Jim and Sharon and Jim, which is how most things come to us now. And so those things we learned why we were taught, but that's not to share out. That's for us. And that's not that we're trying to hide anything or ashamed or embarrassed by anything we saw. It's simply that some teachings stay within you, some teachings are shared out with the group. So we're sharing the experience, if you will. Our second journey, which was about a week later, Sharon asked for a second one, and we decided that for now, Sharon would say when we journey. My job is to guide the journey, because she doesn't have that skill yet. It's one I haven't quite taught her yet. I didn't expect her to ask this quickly, to journey. The second journey, we were with the wolf more than the eagle. We were with the eagle a little bit, but mostly with the wolf. And I believe mostly in the present, but again with a lot of different groups of people. And this is where I won't necessarily tell you exactly what we saw, but again, we were one. One spirit, one entity. I could feel us melding together as we stood next to the wolf. I could feel us becoming one presence, one spirit, because we are 2 energies, 1 spirit. And after that happened, I felt us in the wolf, and the wolf took off and took us on quite a journey. A lot of different landscapes all around the planet, but all in the present, I believe. I'll be curious to hear what Sharon says about that, if she even notes it. And these things we also, afterwards, we shared, and they were very common to us. We were in a lot of places, beaches, mountains, forests. And so we know part of that is that our journey down the road will definitely entail this. She and I will be there, but in the physical sense together. For what, I'm not quite sure. And if I did know, I would probably keep that inside until I was positive. Another almost test flight, but not like the first. We did more this time. We were more places. We experimented with being one as a creature within the wolf being. And then we returned back, talked at length about what we had done. Powerful journey. I think now that we've kind of spent 2 times on test flights, our next journeying will even be more complete. I really think we will start visiting sites. I have a sense we'll visit sites that she and I will be in down the road in the future, either teaching or learning or just sitting in circle, being part of the work we're doing together. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my sense of it. Since our second journey, I've been doing a little bit of journeying on my own and bringing information back to Sharon, who's been working on some other things inside of her own. There's no push, there's no rush. The journey can be a beautiful, instructive thing. I've seen people get very scared, as I was my first few times when I was suddenly in a different place, a different time, and thinking I'd lost my mind. I could hear people, I could see people. But if run in a good way, if run with good intention, if run by someone who knows how to guide people on the journey, journeys can teach a lot. Journeys can share a lot. Journeys can let us see things we'd not otherwise see. Sometimes I've used it with folks to see something in the past they need to deal with. And I think both Sharon and I saw some of that, and again, compared our notes. Sometimes to see something down the road, which is what I really want to do when she and I journey. But never with expectations. As with any other medicine, use the medicine in the best way you can. Allow whatever results come, and then sit with the results, and then ask the ancestors, ask Creator. People ask me, does that make you a medicine man? I don't know. I have people call me a medicine man. I have other people call me things not quite as pleasant. It doesn't matter. I use medicine. I've been taught to use medicine. I've walked the road for many, many years. So what's the difference, what the term is? I use medicine. In the Mayan tradition, when I was gifted a title, I was gifted the title Keeper of Medicine, which to them, that's what it means. You keep the medicine, you use it when you need to. It's the same as saying medicine person in other cultures. But I don't worry much about titles. Sharon is very gifted, like I said. She is a keeper of medicine. I know it. I can feel it. I can see it working. She'll gather a lot more skills there. It doesn't matter what she calls herself either. Together we're working on a lot of things, a lot of new things, things that have never quite been done. Even this journey, I've never heard of anyone journeying with someone they were so close to, so connected to in spirit, so much alike. Maybe there are. I'd love to hear from any of you if that's the case. I hadn't experienced it before, and I'm looking forward to more. So this is my part of this for now. If we need more, ask, and we'll be happy to provide it. Pleasure and an honor to record for you all. And of course, it's always my total pleasure and honor to walk with my eagle side, Sharon, as we continue on our road together to where, we don't know. Ho, Mitaki Ase, all my relations. Ho, be well, my friends.
Hi there, Sharon here, Sharon Rainbow Eagle. I'm very happy and very honored to be here today to talk more, to learn more, to share more, not for a destination but really for a journey. This is something that all those videos, I don't plan them, I don't plan what I will exactly say, but it's very, I feel like I'm very directed to do the things that I do. Not only video blogs, but my entire life, which is a great feeling because it doesn't come from any need to be controlled, but rather to just allow things to happen, which is not easy, but it is as it needs to be, at least for me, and I think for most of the people. But I'm not going to judge. I'm not good judge of character anyway. I'm here to talk a little bit about the journey that I had with Jim Graywolf. I had two journeys. We both had two journeys together so far. Both great, both full of messages, full of energies. But I'm not here to talk about what I've seen, because that is not the case right now. What is the case that I'm here to talk about the importance of what I've learned, because that these were the two journeys that I had so far in this lifetime. And so it's quite interesting that before the journey I was very nervous. I was really excited but nervous as well, just because although I didn't know what to expect, I did have some expectations that, or more like doubts, that I won't be able to relax myself, to bring myself into a flow of energies that can guide me, or in other words, be a hollow bone. The first teaching is here that it's not about what I want or not, it's about what I need and what we need, because although I'm putting myself here, we're all one, so there's no what can work for me can work for a lot of people, not all of them, but I think it can work for a lot of people. And so you're listening right now to maybe whatever talks to you, so I hope we can share this energy, and whether you agree or not, that's good. So doubts are not a good thing, but it's good to be surprised every now and then by the energy that flows. And so it was really interesting that in the time of journeying, before Jim started, because he was the one who guided the energy, I basically sat where I sit right now, in my space, and I felt immediately that I was drawn away to millions of places, which it's for both journeyings together. And with every word that Jim said, I started to relax and go deeper and deeper, more and more, and really allow myself to just disconnect from the heavy things that, the everyday heavy things that really held me back. Some doubts that, and nervous that I had before we began. And so in some point, Jim said the prayer, and he asked me to say a prayer with him. So he finished his part, and so I took it. I took the talking stick, and I started to say a prayer, which, by the way, between you and I'm not walking by the book. I'm not talking by the book. I'm basically allow things to be, even if it's not in traditional way, it comes from the heart. The heart cannot really take things in a traditional way anyway. And so when I started to speak, my eyes were closed during this whole time, and I really felt that I am floating a couple of inches above the ground, really physically. I saw myself from a little bit higher from where I sit right now and where I sat, which is the same thing. And that is a feeling that I felt before in dream time, in visions, in many situations before, but not in front of people, or in my case, not in front of Jim, and also not, I've missed the feeling. I've missed the to change my angle of perspective, even physically. So it's nice, it was nice to feel that again. Not something that I want to control, but something that I want to allow. and I have managed to learn how to do it with a deep relaxation, journeying with myself deeply through meditation. But also I've learned that I can do it in front of someone that I truly trust 100%, and so it was good. A lot of the messages came, and the messages were visible, were amazing. I was able to see them, I was able to feel them, I was able to smell, to hear. Every sense in my body, in my being, worked over time, and it didn't take any energy from me, but allowed things to exchange. In both of the journey, I was able to feel something really interesting, an awareness that came to me. All these people that call themselves shamans or healers, which I respect if they want to call themselves like that, but I'm not going to call myself in big titles or small titles, and I think those are really small. Not in any judgment, but I think that the more we title ourselves, the more tags we put or labels we put on ourselves, it really limits us. And I think this is the time for big changes. And so I never judged or tagged or labeled anyone, especially Jim, which he's the closest to me, I think, for centuries. And so I realized that it is important to do something, to feel something that I might have ignored before in my own journey alone for 23 years. I've realized something very important. I am a medicine woman, a healing guide, and both cases, both titles are, I don't carry those titles, they carry me. I don't control them, they guide me. And so I don't control the people that I will work with, that I am working with. I don't control their ability to, their ability, and they don't control mine. And so I don't want to own any timing of, I need to heal someone at the moment, because it doesn't matter. I don't want to limit myself, and so I don't control healing. I just allow things to happen if it needs to be. If not, no. It means that there is some point that is still missing until the feeling, the sensation of energies that are coming in and fill us, fill the empty spaces or the hurt places. And so I really think that I'm not here to change people. No. I'm here to allow them, to trigger them, and holding them, the mirror in front of them, and by that they can decide whether they want to make a change for themselves or not. This is such an important teaching, because we need to understand we can't control someone else's healing. We can't. That is full of misleadings, mistakes. No. We don't need to control someone else's feelings or wounds, physical wounds or emotional wounds or any kind of wounds. No. We can support, we can send energy, we can love, we can talk to them, we can be there with them, physically hold them. But it is their choice in the end of the road, if they want to open the door to changes or not. The choices are a critical factor in all that comes to to changes in our lives. And so it is extremely important not to plan ahead. It's, the best plan is to plan not to plan. So don't plan, because creator will laugh. Sometimes it's fun to make creator laugh, but sometimes it's just another lesson, and not always a fun one. So I think it's more important, which is why I made Jim, or maybe Jim and I, which is more respectful to say, have decided to call our group mirror healing holders, because we hold a mirror, and you are the healers. You are the one that can heal yourself. And what is healing? It's not always put your hands and heal someone or something like that, but it is a process. When the snake sheds its skin, it heals, because it allows nature, it allows the Earth Mother, the universe, to make changes in his or her body, in its body. And so, healing happens all the time. The sun comes up or sets down, or the moon comes up, the stars, the rain, thunders, lightnings, every move that nature does, life, death, rebirth, everything has to do with healing. This is healing. Healing is change. Change is healing. And all part of life. The circle of life. The circle of life and death. And so we don't control them. We don't want to. We don't need to. And it's totally up to you. Totally up to you to decide whether you want to go through the door or to stay in the same place, and you know the rest. I think we need to understand that the more unexpected the road is, the more we learn, which is important. We don't need to learn, we don't need to know or understand everything, but we do need to accept. When we accept, it is easier in our body, in our mind, emotions and spirit. And so this is what has come to me energetically, and the love that I share with Jim, an unconditional love, which, the title scared me for a couple of weeks, maybe not, maybe a couple of days, but it doesn't anymore, because it's not about self-sacrifice to Jim, and he's not sacrificing anything for me. We just love each other, we share with one another, and that's it. It's, it doesn't need to sound like it is amazing, because it already is. It's already make us both, Jim and I will risk my head to say that, because I think Jim will agree with me that the words that I will put about the connection that Jim and I have is, any word cannot be strong enough to describe this kind of energy, this kind of relationship. And so that's it. I still invite you to see more video blogs that will come later, and I wanted to thank Jim for guiding me just through this, and just for every day that he is in my life. Like, I will see more and more people in my life, but Jim is the one that really, the first one that didn't judge me for who I am or who I was afraid to be, which is this moment as Sharon Rainbow Eagle, as a medicine woman, as whoever you want me to be, or maybe it is better to say whatever this moment wants me to be. So I'll see you very soon, and until then, take care of yourself and make tons of choices, because there are no bad choices and not good choices, but choices nonetheless, and these are the ones that sets you free. Have a good night or evening or morning whenever you watching this, and I'll see you soon.